Hello, guys, and welcome to the Derailed podcast. I am your host, Jackie Wolf, retarded trans girl extraordinaire, and I'm joined today by the Took. Other people may join eventually, maybe.
I'm a potato.
He's a potato. And, in light of the fact that I haven't done this in a while, I'm actually feeling a little bit refreshed. Other than the fact I want to go to bed. I'm tired. Bitch be tired.
Check the mini tabs.
Check the mini tabs. Oh no, not the mini tabs.
God, alright, so we do have gaming news, and all of it's terrible.
Oh, where do you think we should start, Mr. Took?
Let's start with Nintendo, and then we can move down the list.
Ah, yes, the Japanese company that is lauded as saving the video game industry in the 1980s. Nintendo.
Oh god.
So, what do you think the fair asking price for their new gaming system will be? Which, by the way, comes out literally in a few months.
Okay, what they're actually asking, or what I think they should ask?
Both.
What I think they should ask is 150, 200 bucks. What they're actually asking for is $750 Canadian and $630 American.
Yeah. Well, it was originally 500, but then tariffs.
Yeah, and then on top of that, oh god, let's not get into the people that are actually insane enough to go, if only Trump wasn't in office so that way my Nintendo Switch 2 could be cheaper. Get a life.
My Nintendo Switch is so expensive. No, there's more to it than that. Now, I'm not saying that it's not. It's a pretty impressive update. I'm not looking into buying it as much as I like.
Damn console is the Switch.
No, it's got some up. It's got updated hardware.
You could literally just release the same damn thing.
Pretty much, but it's updated.
They just swapped it out. There's nothing new about it. It's not a Switch 2. They're not updating the paddles. They're just putting a new hardware and calling it a new console.
It does have new paddles.
What, do they not get stuck when you put them in the wrong way this time?
Yes. They're held in by magnets.
Let's put magnets next to sensitive electronic equipment. What could go wrong?
Hold on.
So then, on top of this monumental idiocy, these people have decided that the smartest thing to do is, of course, price games at $80 American, $130 Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
For not a game, but a pack that you insert to get the code to download the game. You don't even get a manual.
Yep. The Switch 2 has a better screen. It's a bigger screen. It can output 4K 60 or 1080p 120 while docked, which means it's probably on par with my phone.
Right? And then on top of that, the GameCube peripherals that they advertise only work for GameCube games.
Mm-hmm. The Switch 2 has 256 of internal storage. The Switch 1 only had 32 meg. The Switch 2 apparently supports Switch game cards and eShop downloads.
Or you could avoid all of these problems, and just get a Steam Deck and pirate everything.
Oh, fuck yeah. Actually, I'm seeing...
Buying a Switch is for Metroid Prime 4, which I have so many trepidations about.
Yeah, no, what it is like... There is some updates to it, but at the same time, the Switch 2 I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but it's rumored that it will be able to play the Switch 1 games, both eShop and card, which is cool, I guess. It has an updated processor, more RAM, better video architecture.
Okay, but does it have any fucking games? Because the problem with the Switch is it has no fucking games.
Exactly. But
You're funny, Worf. Of course it won't have games. This is Nintendo.
Listen,
yeah,
we got no on the Nintendo Switch we got 2 Splatoons, and those are the most popular multiplayer games
three,
on the system. No,
three.
Splatoon 1 was on the Wii U.
Yes, but they re-released it
That
on the
thing
Switch
no
and
one
stuff.
remembers. Which is
But yeah,
honestly a
no.
shame. It had decent hardware. It was just
I was looking through the most played Nintendo Switch games, right?
Right?
eh,
The Zelda where you build things to punch things.
Breath of the Wild.
No, the other one.
Tears of the Bing Bong.
That one where everybody keeps getting all the femboy stuff.
And then you have Breath of the Wild. Those two are the top most played Nintendo Switch
Those are the
games.
only reason to own the console.
That and Pokemon. Everything else after that was Pokemon.
How have you been, Morph?
Great. Remember when Nintendo could maintain a decent first-party library, not just on one system, but on a console and handheld?
Yes, 2010.
They made a console handheld, and it has half the games of one or the other in previous generations.
I'll be right back. It is time for the dog to get his bones.
But yeah, no. When it comes to the fucking Nintendo Switch 2, I don't know if they have something more interesting other than open world Mario Kart. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the only thing I've seen advertised.
Nothing more interesting than open world Mario Kart. Jesus Christ. It's not like we've had open world racing games since the fucking Xbox.
Before that, we had them on the PC in the 90s.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, like fucking. The only I would have to see the games library, but I can already imagine what the games library is going to end up being. We're going to have another open world Zelda. Although this time, hopefully, it has more content than Skyrim does. We'll get at least a generation of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And Super Mario Maker 3.
I'll be real though. I don't think I'd buy Mario Maker 3, considering they set up Mario Maker 2 to be like, you know, we had to make another one because the first one had some limitations, and then they just stopped updating it.
Yeah, no.
It had a massive dedicated player base, and they spent more time banning people for like using glitches in their maps than they did putting new shit in the game.
No, do you even know the whole history behind why Nintendo had to make Super Mario Maker?
Hmm.
So, you know the guys that made Terraria, right?
Yeah.
So, you know what what their first semi-mainstream project was?
No, enlighten me.
It was this open source, free to everybody game called Super Mario Bros. X. It was a Nintendo fan game that Nintendo had shut down. It was essentially Mario Maker.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Nintendo had to make Mario Maker in order not to be or not to get in a lot of trouble for what they did to Relogic. Of course, I'm not going to complain because Terraria is a lot of fun, and Relodge is freaking ridiculous with their updates.
Still waiting for Terraria 2. They said it was coming.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm telling Sean Murray to stop, okay? Completely aside there, but they have the same problem. Sean Murray just shows up in your DMs like, here's a free expansion to our game. I hope this will tell you how sorry we are.
Well, see, but Terraria isn't sorry for anything. It's just so from what I can tell, following the game for years, what happens is Red's like, I'm gonna start another project, but first let me do a run of Terraria. Man, I really wish there was more in this run of Terraria. Immediately starts on the next update.
Well, it doesn't help that the people that Red is surrounded by, aides from the ones that split off for Chucklefish, all do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably all sitting in the basement because Terraria was massively successful. All sitting there going, what else can we add to the game? Whereas Sean Murray, it's like, Sean, you've been saying you're sorry for the last 20 expansions, man. We
I don't think we get it though. We need more fucking No Man's Sky.
we need more. You know what's going to happen, right?
Hmm.
No Man's Sky is going to beat Star Citizen to being Star Citizen.
It's kind of getting there. The issue with No Man's Sky is the core gameplay loop is just fucking boring.
That's not even the core gameplay loop anymore. The core gameplay loop in No Man's Sky is basically space Subnautica now.
Yes, and it's very boring, and I don't know. Last time I played, there was very little skill to the game.
Tell Sean Murray how disappointed you are in him.
Extremely.
Extremely. No, I mean just like message Sean Murray on Twitter. I am disappointed in your game for this reason. In about 6 months, he'll pop up and go, "I'm sorry."
That's not to say it's a bad game. It's too grindy for me. I'll be real.
It's not your cup of tea.
You know,
I have fun with the events and stuff when they do that. I had fun in Star Citizen, but that completely other reasons I had fun in Star Citizen.
Oh god.
I found glitches. Hi, we were talking about Nintendo and we got sidetracked on Sean Murray and his continually saying I'm sorry. So, Regis, since we're bringing it back to the topic after we've derailed and tangentized, how do you feel about the new Nintendo Switch?
I I don't I what is it improving upon the original Switch?
Better CPU, better graphics card processor, more RAM, more internal space. Supposedly the cards can hold more data. I have yet to see that.
And it's only going to be $500? It's not a bad idea. I mean,
You see, that's the thing though. I've heard various prices. Like I just looked online and it's 450.
that's actually that isn't a bad price for it,
I
especially
return with a burger.
Hello. Aren't Switch 1 games also going to be backwards compatible to the Switch 2?
I can I can't confirm it, but it seems like PC Gamer, PC World, and all of them are saying it. So
So even if it's not backwards compatible or not, that's still not a bad price essentially. Because I'm assuming the Switch eShop is just going to get ported over to to the Switch 2
from
eShop.
from what it looks, yeah,
Probably.
and the Joy Cons are supposed to get a massive update.
Let's also not forget the fact that Nintendo has a massive back catalog of games that they have, quite literally refused to release.
Oh, they did announce that in the Nintendo Direct that they're going to start adding more of their back catalog to their online services.
Yeah, but they're already being beaten by every other emulation ROM and every other pirate site.
Well,
They
yeah,
offer a better. They cannot offer a better thing than free.
right. And here's the thing: I have a little box in the living room that Worf's seen that it emulates
Well,
Neo Geo stuff. It can emulate Nintendo stuff easy.
All I need to do is take an
okay.
SD card, put it into my. I think it's a. They're not. It's not a tri duo, but essentially it plays 5 different old video game types: SNES, Genesis, etc., and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And you can plug in an
S-
SD card.
is it a
So I just
Scorpion?
gotta plug in an S. I gotta just plug in an SD card with all the ROMs of Nintendo, and bada bing, bada boom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Switch 2 is not a bad is not a bad console portable hybrid. I understand that, pirating is and torrenting is free, but at the same time, it can be annoying to set up with certain emulators. And also, sometimes certain emulators can't run certain things.
But at the same
And
time,
also,
I didn't have to pay a dime.
Hi, welcome
yes,
to the podcast. Wait, that's somebody joined.
no.
My bad.
But
I'm having weird notification issues. My tinnitus is
spirit of
acting.
games, are you tired of boss fights? Are you tired of games having these things called inputs and skill? Well, good news, traveler. Death Stranding 2 will feature an accessibility option to let players clear boss fights without engaging in combat. That's right.
I
You
mean,
don't have to do anything anymore. Just fucking sit back and enjoy the slop, pleb.
to be fair, this is Kojima, who literally just wants to be a movie director. So, it's not like
As I said to
it's not.
Tranquitius, I don't play visual novels.
Well, you
I
don't
do.
know, but look, it's an option. It's not.
Hi, EA.
Yeah, fuck EA. But
No,
no.
no, 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 no. That was the guy in chat that says hi. His name's pronounced
Oh,
EA.
oh, I thought we were just randomly saying fuck EA. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's right. Fuck you, random chatter.
Uh,
I
over
can't
here
even
attacking.
donate anything. Just fuck you.
I do not.
I, I am sorry. That was uncalled for. But no.
It's all good.
It's a lie.
Um,
Sue him.
it was not called for. Anyway, no. Ultimately, the Switch 2 is roughly 450 to 500 range, assuming that's the
$630.
assuming that's the price. What?
American.
It's gonna be how much?
$630 American, $730 Canadian.
Uh,
It's going to be $80
Where
American.
are you seeing this?
That was the announcement.
Where?
okay.
Okay.
So here's the thing, though. PC and Mac has it for $449.99, which is $450. And with Mario Kart World bundled, it is it is $50 more.
All right.
So
In Kanakistan. No wait, we're not. I don't know if we're Kanakistan or the Communist Collective of Canada. Actually, sounds better. Up here in the Communist Collective of Canada, it's $699. And games are gonna cost.
Yeah.
Cost $100 or more.
So the Nintendo importer for America, because Nintendo uses third-party importers to bring stuff to America, says that it should stay at about $450.
That's not a bad price, to be honest.
No. And that a lot of the stuff going on wouldn't have affected Nintendo's prices anyway, because a lot of that came out of the Trump's tariffs, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Trump exempted electronics from the tariffs. So even if they didn't get a pause, they still would not be affected.
Well, not only that, Japan's trade deal kind of negates most of the tariffs that we could put on Japan anyway.
Yeah.
If you'd actually,
I hope they backport a lot of their catalog, but they probably will. And aren't the cartridges for Switch 1 and Switch 2 the same, essentially?
from everything I've read, yes.
Oh, so you can just play your Switch 1 games on the Switch 2, probably.
Probably. I wouldn't quote on that because I have no idea. I have seen both.
Nintendo does have a habit of keeping things backported a generation or two. For example, the DS, the original DS, had a slot for Game Boy games.
Can confirm, I do have it.
The Game Boy slot was also used for some silly peripherals like the Guitar Hero buttons.
But
Yes.
I'm
hopeful.
like I said, I want to know. I want to know what's coming down the pipe. Right now, it looks like there's going to be updates to both of the Zelda games,
Usually it's the
Kirby and stuff. But yeah, I want to wait.
Will be updates.
Yeah, they're having their upgrade packs, which is kind of like DLC. You know, that thing that Nintendo only recently started doing.
Yeah.
The new controllers actually look beefier than what I've seen, so I might get it. I might not.
I hear the Switch controllers weren't that bad. Not the Joy-Cons, the actual proper controllers.
I used the Pro controller on my PC, but the first wave of them, they had some real fucking technical issues.
Didn't they get stuck because somebody inserted them the wrong way and then they just clicked in and there was no way to fix it?
Yeah. Really, really bad joystick drift.
Oh
Yeah.
god. And
Yeah.
offer any didn't they not offer any kind of
Nope. No repair, no refund, $80.
Yep,
Wow.
you had to buy the second generation of the Joy-Cons, which is what my original Switch had before it got lost in the move. I'm currently borrowing the Woz Switch, which is a first generation Switch with first generation Joy-Cons. But it plays Pokemon, so
I'm eager to see what's gonna happen.
yeah. Actually, I thought it was going to be worse than it is, but now that I'm kind of looking at it and a lot of the bullshit has kind of blown away, once I know what's going to be for the system, I might pick it up when I have the money. Because I like having a portable system.
Yeah, if I wasn't looking to upgrade my PC, I'd start saving for it. But I mean, I got a fucking 10-year-old graphics card. I need that changed out.
The only thing I'm going to buy a Switch for is Metroid Prime 4, and that is it.
No, I play Pokemon.
Oh yeah, they were gonna make another Prime game.
They are.
That was announced when the Switch was being built.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
awesome.
I heard. Oh,
We're
yeah,
still
I heard
waiting.
that they're gonna have sex in this one. It's gonna be interesting.
No.
These rumors. These rumors.
Cut that right now.
Damn.
Oh.
Seems like Lord Aardvark isn't getting his paycheck.
Oh no. Oh no. You know,
You
crazy
know
stuff.
who I'm talking about.
Crazy stuff happening here. Crazy stuff happening here.
God, no, what now?
I don't know. I feel like I've ran a marathon.
Oh God, now we're talking about that train wreck.
The reach, man. The reach.
Okay,
Bungie.
actually, everyone's shitting on this game. Okay, I gotta say, one of the best fucking art styles I've ever seen in a shooter.
I very
Let
much
me
disagree.
fucking
This
talk.
hurts my fucking eyeballs.
Yeah, it should.
I'm with Regis.
Because everything in that game is like designed like it built for an AI to operate in. Everything has like codes and fucking, scannable shit on it because it is very clear that was a fully automated colony.
By the way, it's not going to be there's no single player campaign.
No.
There's no
It's not a
campaign.
single player
It's
game.
just entirely multiplayer, and it's an extraction shooter. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
The fact that it's an extraction shooter fucking irritates me because it's
What?
like Marathon isn't an extraction shooter. It's basically proto Halo.
I don't think any marathon player is playing along thinking to themselves, this needs to be online only with 3 other people, or I'm not getting the full experience.
Listen, it's obviously not a marathon game. But as far as like an actual extraction shooter goes, it looks pretty good.
It looks like an extraction
See,
shooter.
If it was a generic
That-
extraction shooter, I wouldn't care.
Right, but it's not generic. It's
You're right. They slapped the
it looks like
marathon
shit.
title on it and said it's marathon.
maybe this
It
is
also
like,
just, in my opinion, just looks like shit. I think
I-
the style sucks.
I really
I
don't
can't
like it.
I can't slap Parmesan cheese on American cheese and pass that shit off as Parmesan. It ain't happening.
I don't know. I love this kind of like hi-fi, a bright mindfuck sci-fi shit. Like
I
I'm
wouldn't
all in on
mind it
this.
if I'm not. I wouldn't mind it if I didn't fucking see it everywhere. It seems like the product du jour of the fucking year,
Again,
of the fucking decade,
it's
even.
it's
Like,
not a bad style. It's a bad style for a game under the Marathon IP.
I disagree, because the whole story of Marathon is about a rogue AI trying to outrun time, and this game looks like a rogue AI's playground.
yeah, and
looks
I'm allowed to say
clean
I'm
for
tired.
that.
I'm
No,
allowed to
it's
say.
as
Well,
clean
no,
as
the
it
clean
should
part
be.
is. Yeah, no, that's the problem for my. That's my problem. It looks too fucking sterile. It looks like an FPS version of No Man's Sky, but shittier. Like, I'm tired of this fucking semi-cartoonish fucking sci-fi. We've been seeing it for damn near a decade.
See, I think we're looking at like two different things here. I see this like sleek shit, and I don't see cartoonish. I see like this is a very much like two function design. Like everything, every single thing in that game is clearly designed to like be like seen by an AI on a camera and recognized. That's how you construct these environments for AI.
I thought the entire thing of Darrendahl's AI in the Marathon series was that he essentially transcended being quote unquote computerized.
Well, no, he went rampant. He went rampant. That's what
What-
fucking happens in the first game.
Okay, have you guys ever seen like an Amazon like their new like warehouses where they have like these robots packing shit?
Yes.
Yeah, the entirety of Marathon is this new game is like the end game of how you design an environment like that.
No.
Yes.
It doesn't. No. I firmly
I
disagree. This is
just
not the marathon art style.
It's
I
not
just
Marathon,
really
it is a practical art style that matches what the practical environment the game is representing.
no, you're actually wrong.
How so?
Because, canonically, according to Bungie, Marathon is a prequel to Halo. This is according to Bungie.
No, it's not. It's not a prequel in the sense of.
Yes. But the thing is,
timeline-wise, it's
yes, it's the start.
It's
Kind.
what's fun about Bungie is that the entire thing is just basically one giant storyline. Halo was
Yeah.
just kind of like an interlude.
Okay.
Mhm.
See, this is where we're having a disconnect. I don't
But-
care what this game has to do with Marathon. I'm sure it has some mindfuck story to tie into it. What I care about
No.
is I really like the environmental design because it like matches a modern design that is coming out in industry and taking it to its absolute extreme.
so you
Yeah.
like Marathon because it doesn't look like the previous games that were titled Marathon.
No, I like the art style because I like the art style. I think this is a really cool fucking art style.
You can
See-
say it's a cool fucking art style. I
Well,
disagree,
that's what
but
he
you're
is.
allowed to have that opinion. I don't
That's
think
what he's been
this isn't
saying.
Marathon.
As soon as
It
I
doesn't
stop
look like
picking.
Marathon, and I don't know, and I fucking hate that they slapped the Marathon art style or title on it.
Yeah,
Well-
but they could call it fucking Bingley Bosch for all I care. I like how the game looks. It looks like it's gonna be fun to play. I don't.
Okay, but
really
why
care.
name? But why name a game Marathon if you're not going to have it look like the games that came before it?
Because
That's
the
like
games
trying
that
to play
came
Ha- that-
before it came
IP
fucking
recognition.
100 years ago, and these, once again, this art style is not like a common art style. This is literally, once again, how you would design an environment for totally automated machinery to run in.
It looks like
I hate to disagree. It looks like Mirror Edge and Destiny had a retard baby.
Yeah,
I can appreciate
looks
the
like
slick looking
disagree at
art
all.
style, but it doesn't. Again, like I said, if it wasn't named Marathon, I wouldn't be so critical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
That's
thing
my
is,
point.
Jackie, I
But
want
the
you to
art
touch-
style, the art style itself, isn't my problem.
I've got
first two
the
games
old
were FPSs.
Let Jackie speak.
I've got the original box art for the first Marathon up, the Mac version, which was the first version released. You notice something about it. It's dingy, it's grungy, it's industrial. It's not it's not meant to be this sleek shooter. It's meant to be Marathon.
Marathon, when it first came out in 1994, had very much influences from the Alien franchise and just sci-fi of that era. Very analog, well, not very
Yeah.
analog, but a lot of analog stuff. Very, what we would consider retro now, but they would consider contemporary or even futuristic. Like, it's like, I don't want to use System Shock, because that's also very evocative of the Alien franchise and stuff like that. But that's essentially what they were doing. They were both smoking the same shit. This new marathon just looks like fucking No Man's Sky as a shooter.
I see, once again, I firmly fucking disagree. Yes, it has bright colors. Yes, it has very sleek look. But the way things are set up is very intentional, the way they designed this.
See,
I
I
understand that it's
just
intentional. I think it sucks.
I
To
don't know.
slap the marathon label on it.
I think that's the reason you don't like it, though. I think I want
Well,
to see what they do with this. I'm willing to admit that it will be bad if it's bad, but holy fuck, does this game look good to me?
the thing is, I'm also dealing with extraction burnout.
Well, and that's the real problem here, right? They chose a genre that like is kind of hitting the end of its lifespan.
But
See,
I also have because I know some year when I said this, there's what I call Fallout, and then there's what I call Bethesda's Fallout. Actual Fallout is dark, gritty, cassette futurism. Bethesda's Fallout is a power game set in Atom Punk. There are people that have it. There are people that have that disconnect. Hell, even my significant other likes Bioshock Infinite more than the first Bioshock game, and I will tell you my favorite's the first Bioshock game.
Bioshock 2 is a bit better, but go ahead.
I've never completed Bioshock 2.
Please do. It's really good. And do the DLC.
I have. I
The
have.
DLC for the first one. Okay.
I have the full set. I just haven't gotten around to it. But
It's really good.
the thing with Bioshock is it also fits, or the Bioshock thing there is it fits different times in what you were dealing with growing up. I grew up in a very, very chaotic time where politics had infiltrated school in a very odd way. Where all of these ideas and stuff were being forced on children because our parents went from working jobs that could support families to flipping burgers at the local fast food place twice a week and trying to figure out how to pay for power. Being a little bit older and growing up in that kind of affects how you see things. So the dystopia of Bioshock kind of resonates with me. Infinite didn't because it's a little more happy. Either way, you're always the bird in the cage. Does that make sense?
I think people are judging Marathon too early. I think it's gonna be good.
If you think it's going to be good, that's fine. But I still think it. You know what it is? It looks like if Titanfall was in No Man's Sky's engine. That's exactly what I think it is.
And I'm curious what I'm going to watch what they do with it.
Because when I look at this, I see QR codes and labels everywhere. I see I see the kind of environment you would put in a factory for an AI Amazon packager. I don't see like No Man's Sky like sleek painting. I see just very highly visible to camera designs.
And I still don't think that it should. They should have called it something else. Yeah, you're right. I hate it because it's called Marathon when it doesn't look like Marathon. You're right.
I think
I agree.
Okay, have you guys watched the like cinematic story trailer though?
I didn't realize there was a cinematic story trailer. What the fuck is the story for this?
Okay, so where is it? There's an 8-minute trailer for this.
I'll watch it after the stream.
I'll send it to Jackie.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, I can play it on stream. I'm sure it's not copyrighted.
I mean, it might be. I don't know. There's probably what people seeing this.
Either way, I'll probably just watch it after, just that way we don't put
Yeah.
Jackie at risk.
Yeah, I'll watch it after.
Point is, the
But
story is goes something like they're using biomechanical puppets to try and loot out this colony that well that's about all we got for it. And I don't know how to explain it because I don't think I do it justice. Just watch, like, whenever you get a chance, watch that reveal cinematic. It kind of changed my mind on all this. I want to see where this goes.
no, it's funny because I started the day not really being happy with Nintendo, but when I looked at the actual prices over what had been screamed at me, I'm kind of okay with it. Given I'm still waiting on games.
The way, I guess what I'm trying to say for Marathon is this game very much could represent one of the outcomes of Marathon 2. Like, it actually would. I think it would fit within the lore there. It might not be the same style you would expect, but Duradell's ending's fucked.
I also I will also point out that we're currently in a Twitch ad, so those of you on Rumble, YouTube, and X, hi. Those of you on Twitch, thank you for the money.
My
But
God.
no, I think it's just gonna come down to we're probably just gonna disagree on this game entirely.
Like I said, I've just been dealing with extraction burnout because that seems to be what everybody wants to make now is extraction shooters.
Well, extraction shooters can be fun. It's just
Yeah,
the market is absolutely saturated.
My problem with the market is that every game wants to be fucking Tarkov, and I'm tired of Tarkov. I want to, if they're gonna do something with this genre, I like something unique. And we kind of had that with Darker and Darker, right? But that had its own fucking issues. There's no extraction game that like fills a niche that isn't really, super high time to kill Twitch reaction shooters.
I forgot the studio, but there's a AAA studio that was announcing a new extraction shooter, and it's just AAA marathon. Or not marathon, Marauders. It is literally just AAA Marauders.
Whatever happened to Marauders? It just suddenly fucking died in terms of fucking
They had an update that fucked over the they had an update that fucked over the loot pool and weapon balancing.
Oh, so everybody abandoned it after that. Okay.
It's the same thing that happened to Star Siege Extraction. They had a bad update, everybody abandoned it. Then the company stopped caring, started working on tribes, and
Hunt. Hunt the Showdown. They fucked that game. They fucked that game so bad. In an effort to make snipers less viable, they made snipers the only viable option.
How the fuck does that work?
They did
ask
something to
EA.
recoil. Yeah, they did something to recoil that makes it so that snipers are even more accurate at long range.
What?
I
How
don't
does that
remember
fuck
the
over
details of it.
snipers?
But that game's almost dead now because just how they treated it.
But anyhow,
Not you, EA. The evil company known as Electronic Arts. I'm not being mean to my German boys today.
It is his fault though.
it is all his fault.
I
But
didn't do it.
yes, you did.
Nope.
So what's next on the docket in terms of news? Because I think we've exhausted this conversation.
The fact that we had a serious conversation with no derailments is scary.
Look, it's a hot topic. Old franchises coming back with a new, unique style.
Being murdered in their cribs and worn skin
some
suits.
actual artistic vision behind them instead of the slop we've been getting. I don't know. I think it's cool.
So,
We're just gonna have to fucking disagree.
How about you watch the trailer and then get back to me on that?
Took, I need you to pull out the Rolodex, Took.
The Rolodex?
The Rolodex.
Why?
We made it through 2 topics in an hour.
Christ.
I know the only other thing was Death Stranding going, hey, guess what? You don't have to play games anymore.
I guess I could talk about Warhammer, because it has been a while since I've been on in the first place, much less talked about Warhammer.
I have been listening to the Caiaphas Kane audiobooks during work hours.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I have.
Want me to
Go for it. Go for it. I've been avoiding Warhammer like the plague.
Is it because I'm the only one who talks about it on this fucking channel?
No. I've been avoiding it like the plague because I have been made to feel very unwelcome in my like of certain nerd topics by somebody.
Huh?
Don't worry about it.
I didn't do it. I swear.
Okay, so have you talked? Okay, so we're getting a new camp. We're actually getting 2 new Crusades. Knockmund Gauntlet, and welcome back to Armageddon, boys. This isn't going to be Wars 2 and 3. This is going to be the first war for Armageddon, and Angron is indeed coming back. Let me find the Knockmund Gauntlet article from Goonhammer. Jackie, would you like me to start streaming it? Just so that way we have a follow along for.
Sure. Let me see if I can capture the stream.
War for Armageddon is going to be coming either late this year or next year.
So Angron's going to show up, and the first thing we're going to hear is an orcish voice screaming, "Where the fuck? Where the
Orcs
fuck
are
is he?"
Or orcs are not going to be this one. This is essentially going to be a repeat of the first War for Armageddon.
Man, I can't wait for the 10th War for Armageddon, where Gazgul comes back as a literal planet and fights the planet.
Gazgul the planet.
I do have a.
He's so big from kicking so much ass. He is a literal planet of screaming anger.
He just punches fucking Armageddon, just puts a dent in it.
No. He punches Armageddon, but only after he makes sure Angron is there so he can get revenge for the Commissar.
Yeah.
Jesus. So one of the rules for Knockmund Gauntlet is, so the way your army is going to be split up in this crusade, you're going to split them into things called waves. You're going to get at least 2 waves, probably 3 depending upon your battle size. The first is your primary wave, which is what you start off with on the battlefield. Normal deployment. Then you'll have either 2 or 3 reinforcement waves, which will arrive later in the battle. The way this is set up, you'll only ever bring in 2 of your reinforcement waves. So while you can have 3, the idea is that you choose which 2 to bring in, giving you some tactical viability. This is kind of interesting, and I'm really interested to see how this happens, because this adds some tactical choices to the game. Do I keep my armor in reserve if I'm playing guard, or do I bring it? Or do I bring in my infantry wave?
Which is really the most pressing part of this question is, after all 3 waves have happened, what happens when the orcs show up and the first thing everybody hears is, "Where the fuck is Yarick?"
This is for Knockmund. This is not for Armageddon. We don't know how Armageddon's gonna go. This is just.
I just said how it's going to go. Everybody's going to set up, they're going to go, and then the orc player has to show up and start screaming at them.
Where the fuck is Angron? But
Where is Angron? Where is he?
So actually, epic heroes can do get certain things in this crusade book. I'll expand upon those later. The way you split your army depends on the battle size and formation stance, which is just saying how much you'll start with on the battlefield. You have 3 options per battle size. So you either start with, so for example, in a Strike Force game, which is 2,000 points, you can either choose to have either 900, 1,000, or 1,100 points on the board as your primary wave, and then you split up your 2 waves in for either 550 or 450 or both 500, which is how I'm reading that. I could be wrong. We'll probably get more information when this, either closer to when this comes out or just when it comes out. Your primary wave, as I said, is what you'll deploy in pre-game, and it must be deployed on the battlefield. You cannot put primary wave units into reserves. So, for example, if you're playing Necrons, you can't just fucking put your if your Necron destroyers, for example, are in your primary wave, they can't go into strategic reserve.
So
they have to start on
like
the board.
A new competitive format.
This is a new Crusade book. So Crusades are basically narrative campaigns for Warhammer. For I believe they've been starting since 8th edition, definitely 9th edition. And the way Crusade.
I was going to say, I do have a complete aside here. Elon Musk has decided that he's going to be starting a new university called the Texas Institute of Technology and Science.
Interesting.
Texas Institute of Tech.
I get it. I get it. Thank you. And another thing is, by round 3, you have to have you have to have all the waves that you want to deploy on the battlefield. Any other remaining reinforcement waves, they are removed from the battle. They are not destroyed though. They are only destroyed if your warlord is part of that is part of the wave that's still in the wings, which sucks. But you don't have to take an out of action test for them, which is basically, do I get a debuff on this unit?
I'll be real.
Finally,
This is
I'm sorry?
completely alien to me. Help.
Worf over here drowning. Don't worry, Worf. They're going to be. I have some good news here. They're going to be establishing this new university in Twin Peaks, Texas. So you can now graduate from the Texas Institute of Technology and Sciences, summa cum laude, with the perkiest grades in the class.
Christ.
I love how the Texas Institute of Technology and Science is conveniently located in Twin Peaks.
Conveniently, that's implying it wasn't planned.
The university's memo should be, come on down to tits abreast of fresh ass.
All right.
I'm sorry. This is the best derail ever.
Yeah, I get it. No, I get it.
Tuition will be paid in Dogecoin and get a discount if you have a dog.
Oh God.
No.
Come on, do it. Make my investments better. I love it.
All right.
You're not getting back on track. I don't give a shit how much you try.
Anyhow,
Just trying to climb back onto that track and just get dragged back into the woods every time.
So anyway, finally in Nocturnal Gauntlet, you're not going to be able to use the rapid ingress stratagem, which basically allows you to bring in a.
This mean?
I'm about to fucking explain the stratagems. Stratagems are abilities you can use during the game. They cost something called command points. Would you get one at the start of your at the start of every turn, including your opponent's turn? You cannot do it in Nocturnal Gauntlet, however. So, you cannot bring in something from Deep Strike, which is where you could just put anything within 9 inches, outside of 9 inches of all enemy models, or Strategic Reserves, which just 9 inches close to the battle edge and 9 inches away from all models.
Stop saying 9 inches.
9 inches, 9 inches, 9 inches.
Oh my lord.
Don't worry, for me, you have to reduce that by 2/3. Anyway, in Nocturnal Gauntlet, you can't just Deep Strike on your opponent's turn. Something you can do in Nocturnal Gauntlet, though, is you can Deep Strike within 9 inches of enemy units. However, you must take a test. And if you fuck up, it's a really bad thing. Your unit can die. Your unit can just get fucked up and just go back into Deep Strike, which means they don't go on the board. Or they're just battle shocked, which means you can't do abilities with them. You can't do stratagems with them. It's actually really interesting, and it does have penalties for armies like Custodes, who don't strike.
How many people in our audience even like play Warhammer?
Me.
A few. A few.
I hope
Believe it or not, there are less people in my audience that know what BattleTech is than play Warhammer.
Wow.
Here you go, Worf. I think we've.
I can't get off
roughly
this
summed
topic.
up-
I can't get off this topic if people just don't give a shit.
It's just like,
It's not that. It's that I do believe that everything that you're saying to him sounds roughly to the equivalent of the parents from Charlie Brown in his ears.
like
That's
I don't
fair.
know. I just thought we'd be arguing about stuff, but you're just this is like this is real information. I don't know what to do with this.
He keeps
Like I
saying
said-
words
like
that
I-
were English, but I don't understand them.
Like I said, I can get off this topic if you want.
One of the biggest problems on that is Worf doesn't play tabletop games.
So I can just shut the fuck up and not talk about this. It's fine. Worf,
But-
would you like me to get off this topic?
Oh my lord!
Answer!
I don't
Give
really
me an
care.
answer,
I
you
just,
cunt!
it's just like I'm like taking a step back here.
He's trying to decompress with all the things you just thrown at him because he understands precisely none of it.
But there are people in Jackie's
like-
audience who play
Is this
Warhammer.
what is this what it sounds like when I start talking about Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes.
Doing this to people? Holy
Yes.
Morph over here, like stumbling away with 1,000-yard stare. I do this to other people.
shit. Holy
Yeah. And this is why me and Kai often wait to talk about, military stuff until or for when you're not around or you have headphones in. Because this is exactly what happens when we do that to you too.
I have some things to reconsider.
You might be autistic.
Bite! Motherfucker!
You're on the Derailed
Worf
podcast.
plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Worf is autistic!
Yu-Gi-Oh is not a sign of autism, it is a sign of homosexuality, I'll have you know.
It can be both.
Way to out yourself.
Anyhow, just to summarize how I feel about Knockwood Gauntlet, because I'll probably just get off this topic entirely. It's looking really fun. I'm eager to see what they do. And I'm eager to actually get running this, because my Crusade group is absolutely gonna fucking run this.
Mm-hmm.
See,
No,
that's what I need, like,
From
get into.
what I understand about it, it actually sounds fairly fun.
How much does this cost to set up?
Warhammer
We
or
don't
just
talk
or
about
just
that.
Like a
Warhammer
if,
itself or Knockwood Gauntlet?
like if you want to do like a proper crusade group, how much is that gonna set you back?
It really depends on what armor you're playing, but it's still probably going to be $500 minimum.
Jesus
Hey,
Christ.
Worf, how do you feel about a car loan? Because you'll probably be able to afford a car more than you will for a proper fucking space marine force.
Oh,
Or any force, to be honest.
Or the joke in Warhammer 40k is that if you get your kid into it, you don't have to worry about them spending money on drugs because they'll just grow up on plastic crack.
Right.
There's a reason why we call it plastic crack.
I know it's called cardboard crack for Yu-Gi-Oh, so I get it.
Well, and to put this in perspective, a box of 10 orcs costs $50.
Okay, well, most staples in Yu-Gi-Oh are around that range, so that's normal.
Hey, to put a proper army of orcs roughly requires 150.
That's not a lot. You know, like a meta deck in Yu-Gi-Oh is gonna set you back like $400 to $600, and that's
Yeah,
for
but
one
you only get
format.
10 orcs per box, and the box costs $50.
Okay, Worf, see, here's what you're not considering here. You're not just paying for the space marine, or for the orcs in this instance.
All right, you also
You're
need the paint, the glue.
You need the paint, the glue, the paintbrushes. You need to pay for bases if they don't come with a box. Sometimes they don't. If you want to do special weapons, you're going to have to pay more because obviously some units in Warhammer can be doubled up, which means you're essentially paying double for nearly everything.
Or if you want a vehicle, that's easily $120.
Depending
Jesus.
upon. Sometimes they're cheaper. And that's just for the model. It's for the for the vehicle model itself. So that's not even accounting for everything I just said with paints.
Oh,
glues,
and then on
brushes.
top of that, you have to put everything together.
Oh yes, this is essentially fucking Gunpla with actual rules, so you can play on tabletop.
Technically, you could play with Gunpla on tabletop.
Yeah.
Yes,
There
it's
is.
fucking heightened maybe because of the size, but no.
No, I was thinking there's probably a Gunpla sort of RPG.
There is.
Well, there is going to be a
There is.
tabletop Gunpla game.
Well, that's not actually Gunpla. That's going to be minis. It's
Gunpla in the sense that it's Gundam minis.
yeah, it's minis. Although interestingly enough, it's also going to be compatible with the card game. Also, going to be expensive to get into for reasons.
Oh god, no. No. Adi Shakar, stay the fuck away from everything.
I cannot say what I want to say about Adi Shankar. I would get Jackie taken off YouTube. Anyway.
But no, so for those of us that like Gunpla model kits, we all know that Gunpla model kits come from Japan.
They're made in the Gunpla factory in the North Pole.
They're made in the Gunpla factory in China. Like all plastic models are.
Nah, GW has theirs in fucking Leeds.
Yeah, GW prices are also about to go up because guess what the tariffs do actually affect? That's right, guys.
Okay.
The plastic crack is going to be more expensive.
As if people aren't just doing 3D prints anyway.
Pretty much. Well, believe it or not, 3D prints.
The only people who actually fucking care about 3D who care about not 3D printing are the people who go to tournaments, or the people whose local game store requires them to have at least some sort of official plastic.
Yeah, no. Well, no, that's in
Everybody else doesn't give a fuck.
that's in like Warhammer spaces, but 3D printed gunplay is kind of very bad taboo right now.
I mean, that was the thing that everyone lost their shit on Trench Crusade was when they're like, yeah, you can print your own models, but we want you to have a subscription to go to tournaments.
We kind of lost our shit on Trench Crusade when we showed up in the Discord in the first 5 minutes. Everybody started getting banned for existing.
I know, that was funny. I don't know. I did like their like business model they went with. Someone who's not retarded should copy that.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this right now. Trench Crusade at the beginning I thought was interesting, but the more time has gone on, it just seems like religion bad.
Well, I think my favorite bit about it is them releasing a map where somehow nothing has changed in 800 years. Also, the entirety of the forces of hell depend upon mortal servants.
Well, that makes
sense. In these tiny, tiny pockets. And the only way that they can attract people, even though God in this universe literally exists and has intervened to the point where he has just randomly showed up to save a city, I don't understand how they're getting anyone. How are they attracting people when it's just kind of like, all right, so God is real.
That's why I'm taking.
There are multiple ways that the demons in this universe attract followers. There are just naturally evil people who just look at the demons and go, "Fuck yeah, I want power. Fucking sign me up." Not realizing that they're serving or not caring that they're serving demons. People are also just captured by slavers, demon slavers.
Yeah, but considering the size and how hemmed in they are, they shouldn't have any kind of authority. In fact, on top of that, they should be getting absolutely fucking wiped.
No,
everything about their faction makes no sense.
I feel like Trench Crusade ended up being Warhammer for people that don't like Warhammer for political reasons.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Just based off of.
Well, I just find it stupid that the church, the main human church faction, the Catholic faction, has fucking jet planes.
Yep.
And somehow they're not just doing strafing runs on the demon hordes? Like,
They're
come
not
on!
just bombing the shit out of everything. Wait a minute.
They
and
have
then
a fucking
they-
space station in
Yeah, I
lore,
was
I
gonna
think?
say.
Why the
Hmm.
fucking rods from God, not literally rods from God? Like,
There should be
fucking writes
blasted
this
just
shit.
getting dropped on the middle of Jerusalem in this universe.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Like they keep writing themselves into a corner with the level of technology available and the setting they want to create.
meanwhile,
One of the big
Meanwhile-
problems with like high-powered sci-fi is if you keep everything on one planet, suddenly it gets a bit ludicrous that people aren't just destroying themselves.
yeah,
Well, I
And
was gonna say
s-
this right now. If they had kept it to like World War II or early Cold War stuff where space wasn't really a thing, that would have been fine. Like early jets, like the fucking F-104 Starfighter and shit, I could totally see, and that wouldn't have as much of an effect. But I mean, we're talking about the fucking humans have fucking space station. The Pope has a fucking space program.
My other
Mhm.
question about it is why didn't, if they're gonna start with this, why didn't they just make it more recent? Because if you're gonna set something with a demon invasion 800 years ago, and you're not gonna change the world by actually thinking through what would that cause,
mhm.
like none of the factions make sense. Hell, the nations don't even make sense.
Well, the
It's
Catholics having their Catholics basically nationalizing all of fucking Italy. That makes sense.
they did it for the very 80th time. Gotcha.
I was thinking more along the lines of, oh, God, where's that map?
But yeah,
I
no,
will
when it
admit I have not seen the map for very long. I saw briefly Arch's video on it, and I just went, oh wait, I don't care about Trench Crusade. Why am I watching this? And just
yeah, pretty
yeah,
much
no, I
that's how I'm feeling. I was just going to say because Cox Studios is involved in a few things that we're working on. We take kind of studying things
Like all I'm saying,
seriously.
the store model, really good. Everything else, they really should have done better.
well,
There is
like I
so
said,
much they needed to do better.
if they wanted to do early Cold War, they could have, and it still would have, with some work, it could fit.
Mhm.
But they're including what would essentially be fucking sci-fi in this, and it makes no fucking. Who's writing this? Who's fucking writing this?
He was a guy that worked for GW but got fired for for being too political.
And then
Isn't
they
he
just
no
hired
longer
on
on the
idiocy.
Isn't he no longer on the Trench Crusade team?
I
thought
don't.
I thought he either left or got removed.
That was the only one I knew as one of the founders. I didn't know he got
It's
removed.
like what, John Blanche or something? Yeah, Blanche.
Yeah,
there we
some.
go. Yeah, I thought he was no longer on the Trench Crusade project.
I have no idea. That's how. That's how little I've cared about it.
Listen,
That's fair.
when people see the Catholics I'm writing into my setting, they will never look at Trench Crusade again. Find our way.
So look at this. They still have the Holy Roman Empire.
Holy fuck.
The Golden
Okay.
Khanate is still a thing. Somehow.
How?
Yo, this is my favorite. The Kingdom of Numidia, a country that didn't exist after the Roman period of 200 or 300 AD. Polish Lithuania, that's still a thing.
How the fuck is the Principality of Kiev still a thing if the Golden Khanate is still a thing?
Oh,
The
it gets better. England is 4 separate kingdoms.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that actually does make sense.
No, it doesn't, because they got unified, I want to say 600 AD?
The kingdoms of England were already loosely unified because of the Roman influence.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it could be. It's not unfeasible for the provinces of England or of the United Kingdom to just.
Okay, so the Norman Conquest happened in 1066.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see here.
Why the fuck is there a demon incursion all the way near fucking Sweden? How the fuck did that happen?
So get this. The first crusade, where this originally started, happened in 1096. 30
That's a
years
bit late.
after 30 years after England was fucking, invaded by the Normans and, ugh,
Mhm.
I hate it. I hate everything about this map.
I don't know. The game
So
just
England
doesn't.
in 30 years went from fucking the Norman conquest to suddenly fucking Richard the Lionheart kind of shit? What the fuck?
They
How?
just completely
That's no
split,
fucking...
and then there's this random thing, and then on top of that, this is during World War One. What happened to the colonization efforts? Because they wouldn't have stopped. Oh, and then on top of that, for
well, the
some
colonization,
reason,
well, the colonization thing wouldn't have been a thing because they would have been focused on the demons. To be fair,
you'd think
that
that,
makes sense.
but there's not enough events in their history to make up for it. So they wouldn't have been
I mean,
focused on that. They would have just gone on to colonize. And then on top of that, where's China? Where's Japan?
What do they mean
That's
by
not the
this?
focus of the setting. That's not the focus of the setting. To be fair.
Well, here's the thing. So they originally promised like they were going to expand the setting out, for the rest of the planet,
Mhm.
and they were just starting in Europe because it was, core setting. I think certain events caused them to, lower their scope a little.
That's fine. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I mean, if they want to,
It's
Even with the limited scope, they still got a cracked lens.
I'm going to
yeah,
be.
that's true.
Oh,
Like, how the fuck is Targovishta still a thing near the demon
yeah.
incursion? Like, how the fuck did this map? How the fuck is New Antioch still fucking human territory?
I think my favorite bit is that even in even in Dredge Crusade, the Armenians get conquered.
Yeah, poor Armenians.
Ugh.
But like,
The
how is Athens? Are the Greeks still in their hoplite era? Like, who the fuck?
No.
I don't understand this map. It confuses.
This map makes no sense. Why is there a demon incursion
I'm not subjecting the stream to
in
this.
the Adriatic Sea? Why
Also-
does the Adriatic Sea
Oh,
have
So
a fucking demon
supposedly, for
incursion in it?
some reason, the demon navy is superior and rules the Mediterranean. How? Don't
How?
know.
Makes no fucking sense. I mean, I can understand if they had more coastline, but they really don't have that much coastline in comparison
Well,
to the
look
Europeans.
at how fucking squished they are. They should have been wiped out ages ago. The moment somebody brought a gun to the fight, they were fucked.
Okay, how the fuck does demon? How the fuck are demons on? How the fuck are demons in Spain? How the fuck are demons in that little part of Africa near Spain? No, that makes no sense. Because you could. How does Gibraltar fall?
A giant demon cannon, apparently.
What?
Yeah, don't
Who fucking
question it.
writes this
Shut up.
shit?
Tell me the problem with this
GW
hot
had
beat.
more fucking. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. Dark Imperium has been written better than this.
Female custodies were written better than this. And they didn't have any
Okay,
writing at all.
but again, how is New Antioch still human territory? Like, I understand that it was liberated by the humans. I get that. How the fuck is it not reconquered by the demons? Again, like, how is Cyprus
Uh, uh, uh,
territory?
I'm
The fucking sea.
I'm gonna need you to stop using your brain.
I'm
Like,
going to
how
do.
the fuck? How is the Sultanate of the Iron Wall not just working with the Europeans to crush the demons? Because this is a mutual threat.
I am
Oh, is
just
that Iron
doing.
Harvest? That looks way better.
Yeah, no, I'm doing the people of the stream a favor. They get Iron Harvest map of Europe because it makes more
I don't know what
sense.
Iron Harvest. I do not know what Iron Harvest map looks like.
The board
Yet
game's
another
called
raider.
Scry.
So
Yet another
I think the biggest sin anyone can commit in setting writing is taking things you like from history and not like going through your history to make sure that it's consistent?
So
Like, I don't understand how A, the Holy Roman Empire is a thing. B, how does the what happens to the German Confederation then? Is it just not a thing? What the fuck happened to Prussia?
Nope.
What the fuck happened to Prussia?
Shut up.
Is Prussia still a thing, or did that get absorbed into the fucking Holy Roman Empire? Wait, what the fuck did happen to Avignon? How the fuck is there a pocket of demon resistance in the middle of bumfuck France?
I'm gonna have
That
to
seems
ask
like
you
a
to stop
person.
asking questions, sir.
This
is
map
why,
makes no fucking sense.
no
No
Wi-Fi
goddamn sense.
settings are set in the far future where you can, have a map that is
See-
whatever the fuck you say it is.
See,
Instead
basically,
of
what has
having to
happened?
be historically consistent with your historical alt history setting.
oh fuck! I
Basically,
just
what has
realized.
happened is that they have looked at a history book and a couple
Hey,
maps
okay.
historically and said to themselves, "You know what? Write it down. It'll be fine. You play
No.
Empires too, right? Perfect.
No,
You're
no,
our
no.
historian."
No. I realized what they did.
Meth?
I realized what they did. No, Scry, the game that Iron Harvest is based off of. I realized what they fucking did.
They
Because
stole
Scry. Yeah, Scry
it.
is
It even looks like the same map.
Scry is based off of is World War One, but if everybody had listened to Tesla. Poland fights for its
So
individual.
Tesla hadn't been screwed over by that dickhole known as fuck, I forgot.
Pretty much,
Fucking useless cunt.
pretty much what happens is the Prussians end up being Saxonia because the Prussian Empire falls. The Russians take over a bunch of land. Polandia, or Poland, fight for their independence. Crimea stays its own country instead of joining the Russians, which is Rusvitaya, because the Soviets and the Kiev Prince merge, weirdly enough. And Nordia exists because, well, basically Denmark became part of Germany for a little while, then became its own thing, and then became absorbed by the Norwegians.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
just got back. What are we talking about?
I'm just pointing out that I realize that Trench Crusade's map is a terrible ripoff of Scry's map.
Scry?
It's what Iron Harvest is based off of.
Oh, well then that just makes sense. If it's a ripoff, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, it is fucking totally a ripoff. Even the land borderlines and stuff are the same.
Wait, how is Persia a thing if the Ottoman Empire is a thing on the Trench Crusade map?
Stop using your brain.
Is Africa its own country?
Which map are you looking at? Because I have...
No.
The
I
Trench
have-
Crusade. You're not Trench Crusade. Iron Harvest.
Yes, Africa is its own country in Iron Harvest.
I about said a racial slur.
It's still a European country.
Why the fuck are you asking me for a goddamn fucking subscription to your site for a 19-year-old recipe, you piece of shit?
What?
But no, you see what I mean? The land borders everything. They literally just ripped off stuff and then go, oh, we'll insert historical references.
I'm
Yeah.
making potted pork, and I'm wondering if I leave the skin on after I've cooked it, or if I just take it off and then blend the thing.
know.
19-year-old recipe.
The Iron Harvest map is at least coherent and makes sense. Like, the Italians
Oh.
are coherent. The fucking French are the coherent. The German faction is coherent. Like, these
Hmm.
borders make sense to me.
Well, and
basically, the Trench Crusade map really looks to me like they just want to stuff as much shit onto a page as possible to make it look like there's a lot going on in their setting.
Like, it frustrates me on a fundamental level in my blood how
Hmm?
much both maps are. The Iron Harvest map, I can understand not being the same because that makes sense. It's
Old
not
history.
involving God. It's not involving literal fucking space programs.
No, it's
That's not a thing in Iron Harvest.
no, but mechs are.
Okay, mechs are
Ye-
fine. Mechs are fine. I can understand it because it's dieselpunk. But
Yeah.
it's
Thanks,
not like I'm
Tesla.
looking at. It's not. I'm sorry.
Nikolai, not not the company.
Yeah, it's.
Okay. But
I'm
Space
just.
Crusade map is giving me a fucking stroke. None of this makes sense. How are there demon incursions in place where there shouldn't be fucking demon incursions? It's having yon fucking a demon stronghold.
Don't know. I'm just. Like I said, I was just pointing out. One of these actually has lore, history, and events that cause the shape of the map. The other one, there's events? Question mark? And I get it, it's still a fairly new game.
But these are criticisms that you have to raise because in a universe where you're saying that the Vatican has a literal fucking space program and fucking
Hmm?
super soldiers with Jesus Christ cells in their body.
Oh, not
And
to mention
artillery-
on top of that, they have like 3 Titans that are basically super blessed mechs.
Yeah, that makes no fucking sense. Avignon should not be fucking demon stronghold. Gibraltar should not be a fucking demon stronghold. Fucking the area between fucking Hungary and the Papal States should not be that little area right there should not be fucking demon stronghold. You have literal fucking armies that could just crush it in a day, probably. Like none of this map makes fucking sense. Like why the fuck is the Principality of Kiev still a thing? What the fuck happened to Moscow?
So, this one's a little bit harder to pull up. And this is kind of a fun map for me. Because this is set in a World War One or the World War One time period as well. Most people only ever played the video games, though, not the tabletop. This is Crimson Skies. This is specifically the US map.
Oh right, the best
Oh,
setting ever
yeah.
made.
Oh, that we can disagree.
The greatest thing about that is every
Fuck yeah.
one of these states has lore, has a point in time of why it still exists, why it exists, and all of that stuff.
And why they really want to kill their neighbor.
I mean, French Louisiana, I can understand why they want to kill him.
I love how they're not a Confederate state.
God. Microsoft.
I also-
please,
Dixie
just
ain't
give
gonna accept
someone
the
the
fucking
right
French, are you
Crimson
insane?
Skies. The setting is so good. It needs to come back.
I want
What
the
is
video
this
game
from?
to get a remake.
This is
Skies.
Crimson. This is Crimson Sky's American map. There is actually. So one thing that I will give Jordan Weissman when he was in control of FASA, the man knew lore. He understand for a setting you have to have lore out the ass.
Oh yeah.
You don't necessarily need lore out the ass, but you do need a coherent.
Yeah.
You need a decent concrete beginning. There needs to be a reason for people to cling on to this world beyond the characters involved.
Also
Like,
love.
no reason to care.
Every time you make a faction in a setting, it has to have a reason to be in that setting.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
can't
for
just
example,
plop a
Things should
shit
make
ton of
sense in your setting.
pseudo European states together and say they all are there because alt history.
But they all have reasons they exist. Some go back to the Civil War, some succeeded past the Civil War. Like where I'm from, the Free State of or the Appalachian Territory, it's its own country.
Why'd you guys secede? What possible
Uh,
reason did you have to secede?
Because we didn't like either side of the Civil War. Oh, and this is actually a very small snapshot because you also end up with the Cotton States Republic, which succeeds from the Confederation. There's a lot more lore to it than this, but this is
I don't fucking.
thought out.
I don't get it. I don't get it how Trench Crusade had everything they could fucking want. They had people who were willing to leave 40k. They had people who were looking for something just fucking new in general. They had a good premise for something interesting. What if the Templars actually did open a portal to hell in Jerusalem, fucking exploded because of it, and now there's a portal to hell? Like, that was an interesting foundation. And now it's World War One. Okay, cool. Now we have a bolt action version of the Crusades. Interesting. And now the Vatican states, the Papal states, have a fucking space program. There's super soldiers, and there's a literal witch who just flings artillery shells. What? Who the fuck came up with this shit?
I think it was.
Like, I could do a line of cocaine and not come up with that shit. Caltech wishes they could have as much cocaine as Trench Crusade smoked just to come up with that. And Caltech can afford a lot of cocaine.
I love Caltech.
Caltech does, every time they need ideas, they literally just go to the secretary and go, Gladys, please bring in the train. Double lines today, Mr. Reed? Yes. Oh, it's been a bad week, hasn't it? Yes, we need inspiration.
Oh, no.
Gladys, dear, you are a doll.
No, apparently the United States military approached Caltech over their bullpup shotgun. Wanting to buy them. The KSG.
The KSG. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no.
And Caltech looked at him and go, "We're a civilian gun manufacturing company. We make civilian guns." I was sitting here thinking about it. The actual interaction was probably.
No, I guarantee you the representative of Caltech just patted the U.S. agent on the fucking shoulder and just went, "Buddy, the entire U.S. government for the cocaine you consider that offer. The door, please."
Get out of my way.
Your dime bag. Also, I'm taking your dime bag. You don't deserve it.
You enter the Caltech offices, and it comes with a complimentary bag of cocaine.
Yes, and the U.S. agent's complimentary bag got rescinded. It got taken out of his hands because he dared to fucking ask Caltech for a contract.
Listen, everyone talks about the Caltech cocaine, but no one talks about the Caltech labyrinth. It's beneath the facility. It's real, I swear.
Okay, Alex Jones. Anyway.
I love Caltech.
Caltech's hiding all the good stuff underneath. Okay, kind of retarded, but listen. All that cocaine's gonna be hiding.
Oh no! Their latest.
Caltech labyrinth.
Their latest weapon.
And welcome to the new Infowars here. I'm underneath Caltech. You'll notice here, all these guns are made up of Legos.
No, my favorite's their newest weapon, which has a revolving barrel.
He says his name is
It has a revolving barrel, uses stripper crips to be loaded. It's great.
I'm just imagining a bunch of black dudes. No, it's now stripper crips. It's a bunch of black dudes in reds just like stripping clothes off now, being loaded into guns.
This gun.
Caltech, we've got the new stripper crips. If you'll notice, these things are not exactly. They're just lizard men from another dimension.
But yeah, no, it's just one of those things.
That reloads your gun.
I really.
Reload just summon these stripper crips, and they're just right outside.
I really don't.
Summon them by screaming.
I really don't get what's up with Trench Crusade. Every time I look into it, I just feel sick, get a headache, and I'm like, no, this fucking ain't for me, man.
I'm gonna say it right now. Every time I hear something about Trench Crusade, none of it is fucking good. There's always something wrong going on. First, they banned all the fucking quote unquote chud people, which I was there. I was in that fucking server. Nobody was being an asshole. They were just asking, hey, would the Aztecs serve the demons or would they be fighting the demons? And people got banned for that fucking question because, God forbid, we all talk about how the Aztecs literally sacrificed people's hearts. They
think my
whipped hearts
favorite-
out of people.
I
So
think my favorite bit of
I
that
I
is somebody asking people to not talk about that in the channel. Then they moved channels that got told that even in the lore channel they were doing it wrong. It's like, fuck off.
see. I dealt
God
with
forbid
stuff.
we talk about indigenous tribes doing horrific shit to people.
Well, no,
So,
we can't talk about genuine.
I'll be honest with you. I tried to write that off as the people they hired to run the Discord for a little bit because I dealt with that with MechWarrior 5.
No, they didn't rate that. It's not a little bit. They're still running the Discord.
No,
Yeah.
not only are they still running the Discord, Jackie, they also doubled and tripled down, stating that they are upholding
Yeah, I know.
everything that happened.
That's why it's part of why I quit carrying. But I had to. But when that was first happening, before they made the statements and stuff about it, I was writing it off that they had a shitty company running the Discord because that's what happened with MechWarrior 5's Discord. A bunch of people got banned from MechWarrior 5 for talking about flamethrowers. You know, a weapon in MechWarrior 5. We weren't allowed to talk about weapons in a game about weapons
What the fuck did that happen?
because there was a school shooting.
Yeah, but how does that involve flamethrowers?
Exactly. That's what I said.
I don't
No, no,
think-
no, no.
I think we'd
No,
all
true,
notice
true,
if there
true,
was a school shooting that involved a flamethrower.
Elon Musk had recently made a flamethrower, so we can't talk about flamethrowers anymore.
Yeah, obviously. No, it's because
A propane-based flamethrower that's not even that good.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. You can get better fucking lawn trimmers that shoot fire than that thing.
it's why
I think Elon Musk. I think it was a case of Elon Musk doing it simply because he could, not because it would be good.
I think he was
it's
short on cash that month and just decided he'd throw something out there because people would buy it.
it's
Is he
like
wrong?
An underpowered flamethrower. You can get better ones on Amazon.
it's like I had somebody that recently sent me an email to the business account stating how I should be ashamed of myself for flying the new flag of America, the trans flag, or something like that. Yada yada yada. I'm like, first off, I don't fly it. Second off, I know what it means, and it doesn't mean anything that you think it means.
The new flag of America?
The train.
Oh, yeah. The train's flag.
If
I'm
you
not
see here
familiar
on
with
the
them.
train's flag, it has the primary colors. This one here representing the iron, the rust of the wheels. This here representing the blood of all the people that went into it. All those damn, we can't say that. Chinese.
Can't say that word, Jameson. We can't say that word.
All those
Them-
people that helped clear the tunnels, I do believe that they were called Chinese. And then over
No.
here we have the coal.
Well, that represents. Yeah, well, you know what that represents. Represents coal.
Steam power.
Oh.
Of course.
Of course.
Oh, I
fuck.
thought he was going to
My
talk
new
about the
favorite
white
character.
women that only preferred black men. Anyway.
No, see here, the coal, the blackness gets burned, and outside there comes that white goodness.
It's literally where the city of London got its name.
Hmm.
I'm going to hell.
Anyway, but no, the first you have the whole fucking Discord shenanigans, and then you have the fucking, and then they come up with the fucking space program shit, and it's like, who the fuck, why? I know I'm kind of berating the point on the whole space station shit with the fucking Trench Crusade, but it literally makes no goddamn sense as to why a World War I setting would have fucking jets, a space program, literally demon incursions in the center of Europe where there are fucking armies that would literally just go in and crush it like it's an average Tuesday in Oklahoma in 1942.
You know what
Okay,
it
no.
reminds me of? Pig Shop. You know what this whole thing reminds me of? You know those like Kickstarter scam games where like every week
Yes.
they would reveal a new thing?
Yeah,
It
but
feels like
why are we
every
talking
time-
about Star Citizen?
Yeah, it feels like every time Trenchmate comes out with something, it's just to try and like capture a different genre audience because they just want more people invested in the product, not really caring about its long-term success.
Yeah, but why are we talking about Star Citizen?
Shut the fuck up. But
It's
no,
100% true, and you know it.
fuck off. Anyway.
You're just mad
Look,
because you
I'm-
bought
Uh,
shit for $500
the-
and you're never gonna get to see it
No,
because you
I've
bought it
n-
with
I've
a
not-
PNG and it's an NFT.
I've never bought a single thing for Star
But
Citizen.
also,
I am entirely waiting for that game to actually fucking release before I even
never going
fucking
to. But
touch it.
also, the quick question here that I have about Trench Crusade's stupid jet technology. Jet technology implies that they used rocket. Why haven't they just rocketed the fuck out of goddamn wherever the hell everything is and called it a day?
Because demons.
I know, and then they're like, I think my favorite cope from them was that demons experience time on a different scale, so it's like, shut the fuck up.
That makes no fucking sense.
So, by their perception, they would blink and they would have their entire army wiped the fuck out.
Yeah, it makes no fucking sense. It
Yep.
really doesn't.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here going, I wonder how hard it would be to write a clone of fucking Crimson Skies.
You probably could.
Harry Turtledove has spent a lifetime of my career doing that.
So what you're saying is
You
I
already, Jackie,
have
you already
three
have
s-
a World War I alternate history thing to write. Please stop adding to your genre.
Please, like, thank
Do
you,
it,
thank
do it,
you,
do
Dickie,
it,
for being
do
the
it,
only
do it.
person who got that reference.
the thing is I do already have a World War I alternate history thing in the works. I have the Chrome one that's
Jackie, get some fucking sleep. Fuck's sake.
You didn't go to
I've
sleep
been
last night, did you?
No, I didn't. I've been working on stuff for streaming. I've been working on a card game that I haven't got a title for, and
Jackie.
Way to say Minecraft.
no, the Minecraft I stuff.
No, Jackie. Jackie, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Is this just a way for you to avoid sleep?
Mhm.
Huh. I wasn't. Yeah.
I
Get some
my
fucking sleep.
I'll put it to you this way: my tranquilizers quit working about a month ago.
Ah.
Yeah. And the doctor just doubled my antidepressant.
Jesus Christ.
It's just a really long way for you to get
Ay.
Flintstone inhalables.
Flintstone inhalables.
I keep
It's like the longest, most meandering path for your state for everybody to just go, fuck it, Flintstone inhalables actually do some good.
The thing is I keep a dream journal that my therapist can access at any time. And my mental state doesn't get much better than what it is.
The last
My
time I
waking
got
mental state.
antidepressants, if I was to record a dream journal, they would have locked me up.
Yeah. Although the girly drugs do help because when I wasn't on the girly drugs for a little bit, it was a lot worse.
Anyhow.
But yeah, no, I figure I'll let you in behind the reason Jackie does the things Jackie does.
Now that I think
Still does
about
not
it,
produce
Anyhow,
any usable
go-
documents to
if I
make
go
money.
back on
You
those
spent all this
antidepressants,
time working on this fucking card game, and I still do not have a document that tells me how the card game works.
You'll
I
figure
will.
it out.
I need some index cards. Send the Kyber to get me some index cards.
Give
It
me
is
a
easier to.
document with rules. I will set shit up for you.
I just thought of something. If I go back on those antidepressants, I would have the most metal subject material for a horror-themed TTRPG that could ever happen.
Interesting.
Do
Well,
it. Do it.
anyway, have
Do
you
it.
guys
We will
heard about-
fucking publish it. Do it.
I mean, okay.
Have you guys?
One of the things that I remember dreaming about was a library over a lake of frozen blood. So
Oh yeah. Anyways, Regis. Regis. Come
Have you
on.
guys touched upon the new No Man's Sky update?
the what? Who? What? Now? Who? What?
No, I've
Yeah,
just
No
been
Man's Sky
making fun of.
updated again.
I've just been making fun of Sean Murray because he keeps popping up out of nowhere saying he's sorry.
Okay. Regis, the most recent game that I've played that wasn't bought for me by somebody else, so I could play it with them. Let's see. When was this made?
Why don't...
Is from 2001.
Fascinating.
Tactics
Still
Outer
playing
Night of
Binding
Lotus.
Listen, I'm still playing Binding of Isaac, so
Oh shit, they actually... Okay, so the Tactics Ogre guys made Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, which I need to continue playing even though... Oh god, I need to restart that whole thing.
You know what I hate about becoming more and more popular as a streamer?
But
That's what I thought.
what?
So
You didn't say anything. We were asking.
there
What
was
the fuck-
nothing there.
sorry, I was reading through something. No, it's that developers start asking you to play test games that you can't stream.
Do this thing that won't grow your career whatsoever.
Well,
Right,
idea
right.
is no. The idea is you do the play test, you get some B-roll, and then once they let you, you like put that B-roll out, you're supposed to make a video about it and talk about your. It's a whole fucking marketing thing. I kind of hate it.
But I don't ever have time to do any of that because I'm busy bashing my head into a keyboard right now. This whole time that we've been on this podcast, I've actually been writing shit.
So, Jackie, when are we working on that Age of Exploration game?
As soon as we get the first wave releases of our publishing shit done,
Okay.
which
yeah,
is you and Kai.
I am happy to announce I am back on the fucking train for the light novel. Should be
Oh,
a
good.
chapter either this or next week. We will be
I'll have to read it.
introducing the Catholic faction because there are still Catholics in the wacky future.
I would hope so.
But yeah,
How wacky
I'm
we talking?
there.
Like Monty Python wacky or Inquisition wacky?
So a little behind the curtain, the Catholic Church, as one would imagine, over an unknown thousands of years, has split to many different groups. The one on Earth, which is the one that is most involved in the story I'm writing, is actually a fairly minor power, all things considered. But I don't know. I think they'll be interesting.
Welcome to the penitent box. Increase your laser flatulation.
It's funny you mentioned the penitents, because that's who I'm writing.
Oh god damn it.
but yeah, no, that'll
Where's my
be
Indiana Jones knowledge?
that'll be after our first wave releases, which is the main system and lore, which you and Kai are supposed to be working on. The card game is a side project that I can explain better than I can write, so...
Jackie,
And
I
then-
just need a fuck. Okay, I have been dealing with this for almost a year now. Every time someone's like, okay, here's how the card game works. Okay, that makes sense. Just write that down. Oh fuck.
I suck at, I suck at writing.
I can fix it. I just need insanity that I can make a tangible rule set out of.
Okay, so after the 5th time of asking her to write it down, why didn't you just start carrying a notepad and a piece of paper or maybe a pencil or something? Because
Because I
Jackie
have half.
obviously ain't gonna fucking do it.
Because I can beat the game right now. I have half a mind to do it, but I respect Jackie enough to let her fucking start this shit because we've had some disagreements on how things should play out.
The problem is I don't know how to word the rule set in a way that you would understand.
Jackie, I play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes.
Are we talking like you having trouble putting it in basic English, or we talking you're gonna put it into an ASCII key with a hexadecimal set with a D
We're talking that I grew up.
fucking deck
We're
comes out with a
talking.
goddamn decode wheel.
We're talking. I grew up in Southern Appalachia and have an engineering degree.
Okay. Here's
English is not my forte.
Let me
Listen,
explain to you.
it's listen. It's force equals mass over volume, not doohickey plus
Jackie.
that speed, and it'll get squished that fast.
Jackie, let me explain something to you. In Yu-Gi-Oh, there is a rule called missing the timing. There is a 5,000 word wiki article trying to explain this. I know how it works. I can
Okay.
understand anything you put to fucking pen.
No, believe me.
No.
As a person of rural experience, decode the phrase "How you getting on their hockey" for me.
Are you hailing Hitler?
Now you understand why Jackie can't put it into words that you will understand. In Jackie's mind, everything has come with an Appalachian slang.
I don't give a fuck. Jackie, I need a goddamn document to start this
Jackie,
shit.
put it in Appalachian for him.
Well, you take the doohickey and you do the doobob, and then you attach the railing.
See, that makes sense. I can make rules out of that.
No, you
God,
can't.
this is gonna be
Yes,
some
I
fucking
can.
weird shit. There's gonna be entire pages of the wiki dedicated to. Alright, as a general rule, what you're gonna need to do is bring out the banjo that you were equipped with at the beginning of this card game.
Banjo's
need
equipment.
You will need to challenge your opponent to a banjo duel that goes a little something like this. Ding 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 ding.
Your opponent should then bring out a git fiddle.
Have you
Oh
guys
shit,
ever
we
seen-
can't do that. That's already been done in Curse of Monkey Island.
Have you guys ever
Yeah.
seen that one fucking like Twitter video of like the game where it's like 6 guys in weird costumes and they're just doing weird shit on a table and everyone's treating it like it's an actual thing?
What, have you never seen the Japanese game show Quiet in the Library?
No, tell me about it.
Oh, it's fucking great. It's fucking
So
great.
they all have to choose. They all have to stay quiet because it's a Japanese library. This is back in the 90s, early 2000s, and they all have to do things like snort an entire tube of wasabi, pluck their nose hairs, have an old man come in and sit on your face while he's wearing a sumo jockstrap. This is real.
I know.
And it should be noted that they did talk. I believe they did talk with the libraries prior, so that way they didn't get in actual fucking legal trouble.
Look, you're talking about the country that paid for the very bad English dub of Takashi's Castle that we all know as MXC.
And this is okay. I need you to watch this for me, Worf. It's on air.
Jackie, why don't you just play it for the stream? I'm sure it's
No.
copyrighted.
No, it is copyrighted.
No, it
It's
is
100%
probably
copyrighted.
It is copyrighted. It's very copyrighted. It's on Japanese TV. I know what Took's talking about.
They will literally send Yakuza to the compound.
Oh,
Yep.
fuck. What is this, like, fart gas fetish porn? What is this?
It's Japanese game.
Library.
It's Japanese game show now.
Yeah, it's just called Silent Library. It's like where they have these dudes get slapped in the face by stuff.
Oh yeah,
Old
they
man-
do a bunch of wacky shit. It actually did get a bit of a revive back in the early 2010s.
Old man bites tenderly.
Yep.
Nose fishing.
Lord's
Hey,
fishing.
I'm gonna head off because I gotta make dinner. Do an arma up.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you have anything else to talk about, maybe we should wrap up the show.
Uh
I
huh.
have to finish up the pork. I have to finish up the potted pork.
I have to figure out how to put things in words.
I'm wondering
So
how that's
thank
gonna
you all
turn
for
out.
coming to the. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Derailed podcast. Jackie has been your host. I am Regis.
I am Worf.
Okay.
I'm a
Where the
potato.
fuck? Where the fuck are you people, and how do I find you?
Oh, I'm Worf.
You can't. I'm not telling you.
On X. You can find me there on X at True Warficus on X. And if you want to find me on X, I'm at True Warficus on X.
Be
All
sure to ask
complaints
him
good.
Every single possible question you can about Warhammer. He'll tell you
Yeah.
everything you need to
Just
know.
ask me anything. I will go for hours.
So
I am at.
go for it. No, I was just gonna say if you have any questions about me, at True Warficus. Any complaints about me, at True Warficus.
I am at Viator Marsus on Twitter. You can see me often reposting dumb memes, cat videos, and the occasional titties. Not my own, of course, because nobody wants to see mine. But I do post titties occasionally, or repost.
Can't find me, and I'm not saying nothing.
He is at a Game Boy Color on Twitter.
Not saying nothing, Copper. You can't fucking do anything.
He's
Lies,
being doxxed.
No, being doxxed would imply that he was releasing his actual information. I'm just
Oh.
telling him where you can send horse porn. Vosh.
Oh.
Anyway,
the first thing that you can't think of. What the fuck?
because
It's
sometimes
okay.
you remind me of Vosh. Anyway.
That's okay. I know.
Remind you now.
I know where Tuke lives. Hi, I'm Jackie Wolf. I am the proprietor of the Derailed podcast. Oddly enough, it's funny we talked about Trans Crusade today because this is kind of where the proto Derailed podcast started. Oddly enough.
Yeah,
you can
talking about Trench Crusade when it was promising.
you can find me at Jackie Wolf or at Jackie Wolf VT on most everything, including Rumble. I now have a shiny custom link on Rumble. Because apparently Minecraft is very popular on Rumble.
Well, yeah, it's where all the autists are.
Who knew?
Mod is just based and not enough people play it.
You know, it's fun to. I like Create Mod. It's not the only mod I've been using, though.
We gotta do a server sometime.
I already have a server pack in the works. We just need an actual server.
Might have. I'll talk to you off stream.
Anyways. I love you all, mean it. Please check out my Patreon and the various links below because it funds our insanity. It helps us do things. And,
Your audience. She smokes crack.
I don't smoke crack.
Lies.
I'm actually dealing with a lot of medical issues in real life.
I know. We love you, Jaggy.
Anyways, until next time, stay derailed. Bye.
Jesus.
Praise be to Zor.